to a point. But this is absolutely the kind of shot that gives you a real good view of this classic start at Hawkestone Park. There are 37 riders lining up for the first Pico Factory Racing MX1 race. We think that Muse is about 7 in from the left-hand side of the screen as the 5-second board goes up, and we're ready to go with the gate drop. Away they go. Now look like a KTM in the centre as they go up to turn 1. Rider sweeping in from the outside. Kawasaki in there as well. It's Sterry that's leading. That's definitely the 811 of Adam Sterry on the Chambers KTM that leads off. We've got a couple of riders down in turn 1.
Well, he was leading last year for a good part of the race, but literally the last 10 minutes in both motos last year in particular, from nowhere, Conrad Muse just went into like the stratosphere, a different level. Now let's see what he's got here. But Sterry this is effectively one of his hometown races.
Yeah, he's a local man. To the point where his dad went home last night because it's only just up the road. Who's that in second? It looks like a KTM in second. We'll wait for them to come round through the sandpit for the first time, and we'll get able to call these guys. That a rocket ship start then from Adam Sterry. He will take the whole shot in our first Pico.
I think that might be. Was it? No, I thought that might be Olivier, but it's not. That's Hamill. I'm pretty sure for third.
Yes.
Clearly, because he's a big owner, that kit, FXR kit, and that green bike, easy to spot. Is that Oriel in second, maybe?
That does look like it might be the.
I think it might be Shoulders because he.
Yeah, that's Oriel Oliver there in second.
I can always tell by he's got like bottleneck shoulders. So, yeah. There we go.
So the next thing is then, where are the big hitters? Hamill there in third on the 772 Kawasaki. Again, good performer last year. They come across the line. So Hamill, husband, another good start for the Phoenix Tugsman. Watson 5th, Edwards 6th, Todd 7th, Eddie Wade 8th, Todd Gunshaw 9th, Conrad Muse then 10th position at the moment.
Another rider that I've been super impressed with.
Look at this drone shot, Jeff.
Now you can see how that tightens.
He nearly went down in instalments then. That was a move from a man that doesn't ride here often. Somebody down. That's Jack Benniston, the man from Colville. So he's gone down at the bottom of the hill by the looks of it.
He's got an issue with his front brake there. Then looked like there was something hanging in. No, maybe not.
Yeah, so Sterry then makes a mistake, and Oriel Oliver, who I said was my dark horse, Jeff, let's not forget. I've got him down for possible third in the championship, and he's already all over the back of Adam Sterry. But Adam knows his way around here. And like I say, Oriel will think he's, I've got this guy covered, but these boys know their way around this circuit. Adam Sterry has led a lot of laps here. He led a lot of laps here last year. And the man...
No, Oriel's a definite contender. I mean, that ride that he had at Matterley last year, kind of breakout ride there, wasn't it, in GP? I think give him a confidence boost. But the way he rides, I think, also suits a 450. Look at that. That was beautiful. Nice little bit like... One seat bounce, just kind of carried the momentum, hopped over it.
But Adam shows him the edge of the track a little bit, moves him over into the soft stuff. And again, this is just where knowing... When you've busted out laps here in March and you know how horrible it is, these are just the things that I am going to worry. He's not coming past me around the outside because it's all soft there and he's just going to bog. And Adam didn't need to move him over. He just held his line. And Oliver just losing a few bikes. But they come up, they're going to do is jump into the sandpit. Lovely move. The fact that they're getting over here. And obviously Adam Sterry has the big advantage of clean goggles. These top three have checked out. It looks like Ben Watson up to fourth.
That opening lap, when obviously there's a lot of riders going around, the conditions, a lot of dirt flying about, it gives the chance for the top three, certainly obviously top two, with a clean track to break away, and that's exactly what happened. I was going to mention, I said I've been super impressed with Ben Edwards. It's just, like he had a difficult season last year, the Scots rider, he's gritty, determined, and he is putting himself becoming like a top 10 guy, like a regular.
He was the first guy to take a race win off Conrad Muse last year up in Scotland. So he is definitely up there, and he's landed on a nice team. Missed a lot of last season through injury, but there is as Oliver made a mistake, it looks like he has. So Taylor Hamill is. So Oliver's made a bit of a nonsense, and Adam Sterry suddenly had 2.6 seconds coming across the line.
Yeah.
And we did say Ben Watson then was up to 4th, Edwards in 5th, Husband back to 6th.
As you'd expect, Phil, early doors, the race leader usually sets the Phoenix Tools fastest lap of the race at this point because they've got clear track.
It's not rocket science, is it?
No, and that is exactly where we're at. 2:21.934. That is the quickest lap of the race by your race leader, Adam Sterry. Once this thing gets paced out a little bit, that's probably when we like to see some of the bigger hitters, obviously like Conrad and those guys with clear track, Josh Gilbert and all them maybe get back up onto the same lap times. But right now, they're giving up a lot of seconds. Last lap around, for example, 7 seconds Conrad Muse gave up to Adam Sterry.
Oh man, that's race critical, that is. So the lines that Adam Sterry on that Chambers KTM are riding, he's just, look, he does a lot of training. He's a good pro. He's been around a long time. Look at the way he's not burying the bike there at all. You spoke about this in the MX2 race earlier on as well, Jeff, but he is just riding nice lines, not burying anything, just doing what he needs to do.
And this circuit, like, in particular, will just literally come up out of the ground like some kind of demon and literally drag you down to it. Like, that's what it's like. If you just run it in too hot, that sand is so power sapping.
Oh, you just clip the top. This jump's been moved out and round a little bit, Jeff, so it's more on the straight than it was. And as we watch him come in, again, keeps it middle of the track there.
But Adam looking immaculate in every sense of the word. Clean, got the clear track, and it just goes to show, you know, you would say, would you believe on lap 2 that Adam Sterry would be 8 seconds a lap quicker than Conrad? The reality, of course, is he's not, but the reality is that's track conditions and riders in front of Conrad and dealing with traffic and all that, and so that's the difference a good start can make.
How was Conrad? How close was he to 6th place then of Carlton Husband? I'll say the Phoenix Tools guys having a decent start to their season. Josh Gilbert then in 8th on the Apico Factory Racing Honda, with Brad Todd on the DNK Honda in 9th. There is Brad Todd, so Todd just crossing the line now in 9th.
So second quickest rider out on track other than the race leader is actually Ben Watson. Watson circulating a couple of seconds quicker than Conrad Muse. So keep an eye on that. So Watson in 4th. Muse now trying to peg down that gap. Look at that. Those two have now got effectively clear track. But the last lap around, again, like Conrad giving up 4 seconds to Ben Watson alone.
So fair to say that Conrad Muse then, he's not feeling the love for these conditions. Oh, there's a lot of steam coming off that. Is that the Fantic of...
I think that's Carlton Husband.
You just got to... I would not expect there to be puddles up there. Or maybe there is now, I don't know. But that looked like that was steaming away pretty well. So here is the battle then. So is that Conrad Muse? Has he got past?
Well,
he has. He's moved up to 5th now. So Conrad is on the back of Ben Watson and Edwards. And he does look like Carlton Husband has got back to 8th.
But he's losing quite a bit of time to them. But listen, if you go on last year's form here, it's no time for Conrad to panic.
No.
Because last year, with about 10 minutes to go, he was 30 seconds off the race lead, and he ended up winning by nearly 30 seconds, didn't he? Or something stupid like that.
Yeah, it was so very much like that.
No time to press the panic button yet. Still plenty of riding to go. But now, I would argue that the top runners, pretty much have sorted themselves out. They're all there or thereabouts in the top 8, or the big names you'd expect to be really contending for this championship. So let's see how this unfolds.
Yeah, so here we are then as we come back to
Oriel.
And Oriel Olivet now has closed back in right on the back door of the 811 of Adam Sterry. This is a mission critical kind of pass for the Gabriel SS24 rider. He was 2.5 seconds last time by, and Olivet has got himself right on the back wheel of Adam Sterry. And like I say, he made a bit of a mess of the pass at the top of the hill. It was just a place at Hawkestone that you don't pass, but here he is. He's going to drag up, and is he going to get down the inside of him? He sends it long there, Jeff.
Oh,
that was a great pass.
Well, I don't think genuinely caught Adam napping there, because he committed to that. He just went long, where Adam was maybe just trying to scrub a bit of speed off at the top, and Oriel just went like, I'm having this, I'm keeping it, let's deal with the consequences after. And I think he caught him off guard there.
That was a good great pass. Got the momentum at the bottom of the hill, and Adam Sterry could do nothing by the time he'd levelled him. He was already by. So has the Welshman got anything in the tank, or is he just going to run his laps and see what the race gives him? But a new race leader then, first time in MX1 for the Gabriel SS24 KTM of Aurel Oliver.
Yeah, he's well, that's a power move. I mean, you could argue literally, because he seemed to, that last quarter of the famous Hawkestone Hill, he just seemed to really have an extra gear almost on Adam there and just launched it up the top. But it's a power move at this point in the race, because clear vision, clear track, it can make such a difference.
Is that Ben Watson?
No, I don't think that's Mackenzie Marshall.
That's Mackenzie Marshall. Yeah, the Staffordshire Triumph. He's a man, one of the youngest riders in this class. Moved up from 250 because
he's just so big.
He's a giant. Yes.
He is huge.
So looking at the timing, and Ben Watson then is a fair bit away from the battle for third with Taylor Hamill, but he's got 10 seconds over Conrad Muse. As number 42 sticks his goggles into the crowd. Chaplin Cole in 15th. He's having a good run.
So just outside the top 10, you got Eddie Wade in 10th, basically getting right back into motocross, obviously after a little stint of coming back and doing arena cross. Good to see him, and he dived in, was it the tail end of last year? He did Link, didn't he?
He did, yes.
And performed well. I spoke to his dad, Phil, yesterday, and he was kind of like,
he was a good
you've
rider.
been roped back in then? He's like, yeah.
So here are our race leaders then. Aurel Oliver goes past pit lane on the number 83 KTM. He'll start to come up the hill as Sterry still keeping him honest.
Hamill putting a strong performance in here. He is still going. He's there. He's got 2 seconds over Watson. Conrad is about another 12 seconds back from Watson. So, yeah, he's got to get a march on here if he wants to stick it. Certainly in the top 4, but top 3 is getting away from him. But we say it so many times, it's a very, very long championship. A lot can happen.
Yeah, there's Taylor Hamill on the Kawasaki, so he's getting closed down now by Ben Watson. There is the man on the Dirt Store Triumph closing in on the man on the 772 Kawasaki. I'm going to say Ben Watson is 450 full championship debut. He rode for obviously the factory Yamaha team on a 450 for a season and gave Jeffrey Erlings a run for his money at the opening round of Ling back in the day, but has never actually been on a 450 team that did any of the British Championship, going through obviously factory Yamaha, factory Kawasaki and factory Beta. He's always contested Belgian and Italian and all sorts of other championships, but here he is then homing in on the back of the 23 of Taylor Hamill, who's he's a good pro now, Taylor Hamill. He's a solid rider. He's there in third position. He's coming under a little bit of pressure from Ben Watson. And,
Taylor, I mean, there's a lot of nice blokes and lads in this paddock, but Taylor's genuinely one of them, just maybe that needs to start to believe how good he is that little bit more, but he is just such a nice lad to talk to and whatever, and I think he is starting to believe that he belongs here. Obviously, I mean, his performance suggests that. And the way he rides a bike, he's always been smooth, and the 450 definitely suits him, I think.
So Watson just eased his way past there, Jeff, as we saw in that nice hairpin, and he will now move up to third position here with 11 or just under 12 minutes to go.
I was just going to say, Phil, that corner that leads from what used to be the whoops to the sandpit probably is the never-ending corner. As a rider,
it's awful.
You're like, is this thing ever going to straighten up?
No.
It goes on forever, doesn't it? But it gets so whooped out round there.
Right, so there's Adam Sterry and there is Ben Watson. So we've got 11 and a half minutes to go. Let's have a look and see what the gap is between our race leader, Aurel Oliver, and this man here, the 919 of the Dirt Store Triumph of Ben Watson. So the gap at the minute is 9 seconds. That's come down about 4 seconds in the last couple of laps. So we're all a little bit of splashy water spray rather from the Triumph, just making sure that there's nothing wrong with that. But you see the loop that we used to use there where it goes round.
Yeah.
So that's so the rider that's going really fast in that group of 4, that is Ben Watson. The next rider on track in the green Kawasaki, that is Taylor Hamill, and they're coming down the hill. And Watson is he's catching Adam Sterry at a rate of knots. I think Aurel Oliver is. I think that's Aurel Oliver there.
Yeah, so Oriel is in that
there's
blue
Sterry,
kit.
and there is Ben Watson. So Watson on the Dirt Store Triumph, I'll say his debut 450 full-time championship ride. He's 9 seconds adrift of our race leader with 10 minutes plus 2 to go. And he looks like he is on a bit of a wriggle. He was the fastest man last time
he
for
was.
like 4 seconds.
Yeah, over anybody. And he's basically turning consistent speed. Watson has been about the same speed every lap. Well, the others have like peaked. They're coming back down. They've now dropped it down by 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Watson's just doing a pace.
Yeah.
And it's going. And it's still, I mean, he's still got, last lap around, he was still 4 seconds quicker than Conrad Muse.
Yeah.
He was 3 seconds faster than your race leader, Oriel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's starting to find his groove here. Ben Watson on the Dirt Store Triumph. There he is. But a great sand rider, you know, both him and his brother.
On the back of Sterry as they go through into the bit. I expect Ben will have... he's gone a bit wide there.
There's DT, saw Dave Thorpe stood there in the Honda coat. He's had his moments through
hasn't he just?
Round this place.
So here we come then. It is going to be a pass and Ben leaps in. And that's the pass for second. That's Sterry down the inside. So Ben Watson then moves to second place. He puts the Chambers KTM back to third, and it's now with 9 minutes and 17 seconds left on the clock. Has he got enough time to run down
now
our race leader?
I know obviously Watson's going quick and he's closing on Oriel, but it looked to me a little bit like
there's Oliver, the race leader. Let's see what the gap is, Jeff. Sorry.
Yeah, like Sterry looked like he was suffering a little bit there. I don't know if he just messed that section up. Maybe he's just got a bit of arm pump, hit the wall a little bit. I remember him saying it at the first race last year. He had the same thing, didn't he?
Yeah. But so here's Ben Watson then. He's on the rip. It's down to 4.8 seconds. It was 9 seconds a lap ago, Jeff. Well, so Ben Watson is proving his GP pedigree. I have had this conversation. Nobody knows how good Ben Watson is because he spent the last 4 years on bikes that have not been able to let him show his best. And now with the Dirt Store Triumph, we'll say he can pretty much do what he wants, but he certainly isn't in a situation where he's having to use stuff he doesn't want to use.
Yeah, well, he took 4 seconds out of Oriel that lap. So there you go. And if you stand by that, he's 4 seconds behind.
Yeah.
So if he carries on that pace, it's going to be a couple of laps, or not even less than that. He's going to be right on Oriel's back wheel.
And I think Taylor Hamill has also passed Adam Sterry, because in fact Taylor Hamill is hanging on really, really well. I don't know what the gap was across the line, but that is the number 23 Kawasaki of Taylor Hamill.
I thought that was the case. To me, it just looked like Adam just... He bounced into the Honda hole. He kind of like pulled it up a little bit. It looked like arm pump to me. Yeah. It could be other things going on, but it's just like he's just having a reset.
Yeah. So there's Oliver then, and there's Watson. So it is closing in.
Yeah, it's definitely coming down. Watson looking good here, but this is you know, for a lot of these riders, they're obviously really good in sand, but, you know, Watson in particular, this is top Ben Watson fodder, really. This kind of terrain, this kind of going. Obviously, brother Nathan as well, fantastic sand rider and enduro.
Waiting for the leaders to come into the sandpit, Jeff.
Yeah.
And I'd say we'll be in any second now. And we'll see whether there's been a pass right for Oriel Oliver. So there's Watson coming into the sandpit. So he's gone through there.
He's going with him, isn't
Taylor Hamill.
He's right there. He's literally followed him all the way. Look, Adam decided not to jump into there now and picking up the inside line as he kinds to regroup. Then there's going to be quite a big gap here to Conrad Muse. We're still not seeing him in shot. So that just goes to show the level of which these guys are going it. And if you saw pre-event media, you saw Conrad Muse saying, I feel good. Probably the best I've felt in a long time.
Yeah. There's Oriel Oliveira, our race leader, then across the line. It was 3.1 last time. So we've got to stay with this battle now, boys and girls, because this is where the sharp end of the race is. Watson 3 seconds adrift of Oriel Oliveira, and Taylor Hamill 3 seconds adrift of Ben Watson. So these are the men that are going to decide this podium.
I've got to give props here to Taylor. He's starting to just lose the toe a little bit now. But, I mean, he stepped up to the plate. Watson went by and he's like, right, I'm having it. I'm sticking with you the best he can. And that has made him sail past Sterry. And he looks like in a comfortable third at the minute. Nice there, Ben, lighting up the inside.
There he is, coming out from, like I said, that difficult track. So if Oliver's had the hurry up, Ben needs to strike now while he can, and he can't afford to relax because he's got that Kawasaki bearing down on him.
Yeah,
What's
obviously
the gap back to Adam Sterry? I think Adam is a little bit further off now than he was.
Yeah, he's losing time. So the Dixon Racing Kawasaki for Hamill there. Remember, he's like the sole rider for that team at this event. The most of the Kawasaki setup done by Craig Chamberlain's team.
Yeah, so Oliver then just getting hung up behind a back marker as they make their way down to the hairpin at the far end. Let's see how long on. So there is Oliver coming out of the turn. That's a back marker, and that's Watson. So that gap has definitely come down. There's Oliver coming into the turn, and there's Watson behind him.
Oh God, yeah, that's come down heavily.
Yeah, through the waves. Then our race leader just going to put one of the Honda riders a lap down, but Oriel Oliver just looks like he plugged a little bit there as well. And here's Watson coming at a rate of knots. They're going to go out of sight. And this is where Watson made the pass on Adam Sterry for second.
And this is tough because when you have a rider catch you that quick and they're carrying the momentum and then you've got to step it up, it's so difficult to suddenly find that extra speed.
Through the sandpit, they're out and through the other side. There's Hamill in third.
So this is winding it down.
Yeah, there's Adam Sterry in fourth. So here we are. There's Oliver. They're just going to put a lap on Tom Grimshaw. This is the battle for the lead then. Watson right on the back of him. If we get that drone shot again up the hill, we'll see how close he is. What was the gap over the line, Jeff? 1.3.
Yeah, come down hell of a lot.
Oh, yes.
You know, plus you got the 2 to go. It's not just 3:43 and the flag goes out. You got another 2 after that. So plenty of time.
Yeah.
Conrad is the top 5, as you can see on your screen. But
here they are coming down the hill then.
The only obvious change I can see here is going to be at the front. You know, I think everything else is probably kind of
they're already down round the hill. They're going to come over this jump now. This is the front of the race. There they are, and it's still Oliver at the front. It's really murky out there, Jeff. Our camera crew doing everything they can, looking through the trees to try and pick these guys out. It's not easy. Like I said, the weather does look like it's picked up a bit. 1.3 seconds, the battle fought the lead.
Well, it doesn't help the fact that the actual dirt is so dark, and then the riders get roosted. See, we can identify them from the back, but from the front it's way harder for our camera crew.
Yeah, but they're doing a great job out there in what is challenging conditions. It's easy for us sitting here in a nice warm broadcast booth. So that gap's still coming down, and Ben has to feel that he needs to make the pass this lap. 2 minutes 37 plus 2 laps left on the clock in this opening Apico MX1 race. Apico Factory Racing, the sponsor of the main championship, and the first blood for this championship at the moment is going to the Gabriel SS24 KTM of Oriel Oliver, but Ben Watson is doing everything that he can do to close them down.
Well, I think Oriel's got the minerals to step it up. He can certainly let it hang out. We've seen that.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to do that, basically, because the speed at which Ben's caught him, he's going to have to drop the hammer. He's going to have to treat these next 2 laps all in like a qualifying lap. If he's gonna break Ben's momentum, that's the point.
Yeah, he is, and I think that Oriel just pulled out a little bit of an advantage there. It did not look as close. It was 1.3 over the lap last time, and here he is coming across. So we're going to get 3 laps. It will be 2 laps next time.
Yeah.
So it was 1.3, and I think that Ben Watson is going to have dropped at least another second on this lap. 1.4, so it's gone out to 2.7.
Yeah, 2.7, yeah. Gone back. So Oriel responding. He would have had that lap board last lap around going, right, he's coming. If you want to win this thing, you've got to step it up.
Yeah, he's doubled his lead there, so whether Ben had a bit of a moment or Oriel stepped it up, does the lap time reflect that?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happened, because the last time around he took a half a second or more out of Watson. So there you go. Hamill is still doing well there. He's consolidating that 3rd spot over Sterry. As I said, I think the top 5 is pretty much set, as in they are. It's just who's going to win this thing. I think 3rd, 4th and 5th.
Yeah, so
can't see much change in there.
Ben does look like he's still giving it a go. There he is in the background, and he's closing back in. It's
having said that, Conrad Muse is, like we saw towards the tail end of last year, he is getting quicker as the race has gone on, and he is now not far behind Adam Sterry at all.
But let's put that into perspective. They're almost half a minute adrift of this battle at the front. So here's a race leader then, and there's Watson in the background. It's going to be 2 laps to go next time round. Here's the man from Nottinghamshire on his full-time return to British Championship racing, and let's not forget that this is more dirt stores stepping up to the European rounds of GPs with Ben Watson. It's not a case of him coming back to British Championship. They're going to be out there doing the Europeans with Billy Askew, doing all the European rounds, and Benny's going to do European GPs. And it means that for the first time in as long as we can remember, we will get him as a full-time British Championship rider and see if he can add to his singular championship back on the Hitachi KTM back in 2017. But Oliver is he's doing enough, Jeff.
Well, he's responded. I would have first and foremost to a lap board, I'm sure, and then visually he's probably seen where Ben is on the track, and just realised, yep, I've got to go all in, because, second would have been solid, but confidence booster, try and keep him at bay, fend him off, take the race win, first one of the year. And he's looking good for it. I mean, he's definitely come back out in that last lap, and that's, like I said, he's stepped it up. That wasn't, I don't think, a mistake of sorts of any note from Watson.
That was
his game.
That was a nice corner there from Oliver, and he looks like he's dropped the hammer.
He has. He
and really nailed that turn.
I think the gap's going to go out even more here. Just when we thought Watson had it all rolling and was going to get it done,
it's out of 3.
Again, he's gone quicker again than Watson again. 2:28.7 against a 2:29.7, so he's pulled another second on him.
Let's give a
fair play.
Yeah, hat tip for the rest of the field. And Hamill there in third, Sterry fourth on the Chambers KTM from Conrad Muse on the Crendon True 7 Yamaha in fifth. Look at the Merc. Josh Gilbert sixth on his debut for the Apico Factory Racing Honda team. Tristan Purdon debut for him on the Honda for the Lexa team. Ben Edwards, his debut with the KTM team, number 8. Is it Ultimate KTM? Ultimate KTM. Brad Todd in 9th, and Jamie Carpenter in 10th, the man returning from injury as well. The second of the Crendon True 7 Hondas. The rest of the field streaming through. I did see in 20th was when I looked a minute ago.
So we've got Canadian Tanner Ward. He's riding with us for the first time British Championship, his first ever time to Hawkestone. He's coming in actually to talk to Phil in the next 125 race. I'll be very interested to hear what he thinks of Hawkestone Park.
He's motored through because he was down. He was down at like 29th or 30th in the opening couple of laps. So he's kept it going. But a man that's definitely pulled the pin, and I think that gap is now out to a comfortably manageable distance then for Auriel Oliver. Ben Watson closed in very, very quickly, but he's not in sight. There he is in the background. The man from Nottinghamshire has, I think, given this one up. He's got a very, very comfortable lead over the third place rider of Taylor Hamill. Again, it would be nice to talk to Taylor and see how he's feeling the love for that Kawasaki this year after a decent season with that team last year.
Yeah, Auriel has definitely responded here. He's earned this, and I think he's earned it 2 ways.
Yeah.
First and foremost, obviously, he made that power move on Sterry at the top hill, took control of the race at that point.
Yeah.
And he's responded to the second challenge, which was Ben Watson stepping up to the plate. So, he's rode a blinder.
Here we come then. I know they've reworked this step, and it's a much nicer turn now with no jumps, but you can see the water starting to lie on top of the sand, Jeff. Last lap flag then, last lap board rather, out for Auriel Oliver. The KTEC Tower will tell us what the lead is, a 2:30 lap. We're 20 seconds off what they were doing this morning.
Yeah, it's got heavy going out there now.
Well, that's 3.7. Is that safe, Oliver?
I would say, I mean, with, these are top level riders with Grand Prix experience. If he did lose it from here, I think he would be really annoyed with himself.
Yes.
That's a nice gap to work with. For you and I, it sounds like, God, 3 seconds, panic. But no, I think he's, nearly 4 seconds. So
a big shout out for Bailey's Hutton. He's there in 11th, Jeff. That's a great ride for the youngster on what is basically a bone stock 450 Honda.
But he's another rider that I've looked down the years and think he's destined. He's a 450 rider.
Yeah, but he's still a young kid.
Yeah, but
he's not old.
No, he's not. But he's quite a big lad,
Yeah.
and I think board across the shoulders, and fair play to him. He's rode a blinder there. Freddie Bartlett, another British rider, obviously that we haven't seen so much. He's been racing in Sweden and doing the MX. He's coming back. Bobby Bruce is there as well, in 15th. Okay, well, I'm gonna step out to go to the winner's circle to speak to these riders and get wet, Phil.
Yes.
Take one for the team, and I'm gonna make way for Motocross royalty. He shakes his head as if say me. Right, I'm not going to tell you who that is. Phil's going to introduce the guest we've just come in. I think he's got all the experience. He's thought, it's raining, I know what I'll do. I'll just go into the TV booth to get out of the rain. I know his tactics.
Yeah, so here we are then, Oriel Oliver. He is going to be celebrating a win. Let's just see if Ben Watson is going to have a Hail Mary on this final lap of this first moto, the Apico Factory Racing MX1 Race 1 here at Hawkestone Park in the sun. Oh, there we got a nice picture-in-picture. We'll just get these guys over the line. There we are. We've got a nice guest beside us. Beside me is the man that is Mr. Honda these days. We'll turn him on. Welcome to the booth, Roger Harvey.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, 75 years of racing, you've done them all here.
Yes. You're not kidding, are you?
Yeah, so obviously big Honda presence here this weekend. But that's the race win for Oriel Oliver on his 450 debut.
Yeah.
That was a decent moto, that.
He got out at the start, rode well, didn't he?
Yeah. And conditions out there not ideal, but Oliver will be very pleased to take victory and enjoy the getting warm and dry, having taken 25 points in the start.